Hi everybody, I'm Kevin Meehan and I'm the program director at Ambler Farm, and we are putting together a series of videos about maple sugaring for you to enjoy at home. Let's start with the basics. This is a sugar maple tree. You can tap several trees to actually make syrup from, but the sugar maple has the highest sugar content and it gives you the largest quantity of sap. Now, during the wintertime, all that sap, which is the food for the tree to grow, sits down in the roots and it stays there all winter. And then as we get these days where it warms up in the springtime, February, March, it'll warm up in the daytime, that sap runs up the tree and the sap goes out to the edge of the branches and it brings that sugar to the leaf buds at the edge of the branches. And then we get a cold night and the sap heads all the way back down because it's not quite ready to grow. Now, you get another warm day, sap runs back up. And over the course of 5 weeks or so, in a typical maple sugaring season, the sap runs up and down until finally you have warm days and warm nights, and then the sap stays up in the tree. And you can't tap the trees any longer. There's no more sap from the tree for people to enjoy. Now, the way that we share that sap is that we make a hole in the tree, and it's a tiny hole. It's about 7/16 of an inch or 5/16 of an inch. And we put a tap in. I'm going to show you this tap. It's small. This is the part that goes in the tree. We make a hole about 1.25 inches deep and we set the tap in. And the sap, we put it on a slight angle so it drips out of the tap into our bucket. The sap runs up the outside of the tree and that's called the sapwood. And that's why you see tree rings, because that sapwood is actually the living part of the tree that is growing. The inside of the tree is called the heartwood, and that heartwood is actually not the living part of the tree. That's the strength, that's the structure of the tree. We want to be in the sapwood, that outside layer. So we set our taps in, and when our tap's in, as the sap is flowing, it will drip out of the tap and it will go into our bucket. Now, this is not very appealing what's in the bucket right now. It's been sitting in here for about a week. When sap first comes out of the tree, it's completely clear. Now that throws a lot of people, because in order to make maple syrup, we take sap and we boil it. That's it. We just get rid of water, because in that sap there's 2% sugar. Now, I'm not going to put that on my pancakes. I need that to be 67% sugar. So that means I've got to get rid of a high percentage of water so the concentrate is at 67%. And we'll see that in our next part when we talk about the sugar content.